I hope you can hear me. I really hope you can hear me. I don't know if the microphone is over here, but regardless, it's time to talk about something that happened right just now. So, something disturbing had just happened to me, and I do apologize for my voice. I'm just trying to remake this live stream again and again. So, what happened was yesterday I uploaded 2 videos on my second channel, and I never really published them. I never edited that much in the description, besides maybe adding the words link and music and adding 2 dots, those 2 dots. I forgot what you call them, but I added 2 of those, and that was it. That was it. Today I uploaded the first, I posted, published the first video from those 2, and obviously I added links to it. In my mind, something told me not to add links because I saved them couple no, I saved them a while ago. Yesterday I saved those links. Okay, wait. Let me start from the top so you can understand what I'm talking about. So one of the videos I uploaded yesterday on my second channel was basically, remember, I uploaded, did not publish. So I uploaded it first. And that video, one of them was, of course, uh, having a lot of images from Reddit. So I did save those links on a notebook app. And today, when I was deleting some stuff, I mistakenly deleted that. So I was so worried about, putting the links on. I was thinking to myself, I can't go find the links again. I can't go back and find it because even when you click your history, it won't show you what specific thing you have clicked for some reason. I don't even know why. Or sometimes it might give you the profile, but the image you found possibly was buried under posts and posts. So thank goodness I was able to find all the links on my clipboard, which compared to my old tablets, the clipboard could only clip one thing. This one could clip like 20 things, it seems. Anyways, all of it was saved, so I was pretty excited. And then I started adding the links, but something told me like don't add them for some reason. You know, I could have not added them, and it wouldn't be a big problem. I know it's best to credit people. It's best to credit people, and on that video, at the end, I did have a video saying credits below. I could have obviously re-uploaded that video and just cut out that specific part. No big deal. It was a short anyways. And then, and then the links were added in, published and everything, and all of a sudden, like going on my YouTube app, and all of a sudden I get a big white screen saying that you have received 1 strike. I'm no stranger to strikes. Last year I received one which was basically something claiming nudity. Basically claiming nudity on a video. And it was around this time, I guess. However, the only difference was that there was no nudity on the video. YouTube just did not sense it well enough, so they assumed it was nudity. And I did not want to fight back, to unclaim the claim. I decided to go through with it. The strike wore off so quickly, and I was very careful not to tread on anything. I was so careful. And I was thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. This is very ridiculous because well, okay, I'm talking about last year's video. This was very ridiculous because there was no nudity, but yeah, anyways, there are some double standards because I remember, you know, I would sometimes, random times, get recommended uh, prawn videos, if you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'd search for something that's not related to porn or maybe not so close to porn, and for some reason you would get it on YouTube. So that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Your video gets taken down for nudity, but people can actually post nude videos and nothing happens. Double standards, right? Anyways, this time the links I've credited was actually, well, basically it was Reddit profiles, And one of the redditors I credited, oh my goodness, had a full list of prawn, them doing prawn. Now, I did not know that linking something, just a profile, not linking something. Not okay. I was not specifically linking to the rest of their post for some people. Some people it was just that specific image post. You know what I'm talking about? The link to the image that I've used on my video. That was it. And some people it was just the profile. That was it. That was it. That was it. I guess that one person had a not safe for work profile, and I got the backlash. And I tried re-uploading the video by just cutting out certain stuff, cutting out that person, because the image I used from that person did not post any nudity. There was no nudity on that, so um, there was no nudity on the image, but the link, since it leads to the Reddit profile, and since that redditor is posting not safe for work content, obviously I got a strike. So now I'm going to be very careful with what I link, okay? Because the image I used was not some offensive image. It was a simple image, not anything crazy. And it's crazy how links um, can now freaking destroy you. It really is crazy. So that's a warning to anyone. If you want to stay away from strikes, do not link to someone's page that has something like that. Because just before I even edited those links, something was telling me not to add those links. Something was telling me to do that or repost the video and cut that last clip out where I said links credited below. That way I could have just had the video and nothing would have happened. But unfortunately, I did not listen to my gut. Sometimes I don't listen to my gut. Sometimes I have this back and forth with my stomach and always fight each other. There were times where I should have trusted my gut, especially this one day way back in 2014 where something happened in school to me, and the day before that I was actually thinking I should have I should have stayed at home that day. I should have definitely stayed at home that day. But for some reason I did not, and here we are now, huh? Here we are now. Anyways, I'm just saying, sometimes it's good to listen to your gut. Anyways, speaking of strikes, I want to talk about the writers' strike slash actors' strike, the Hollywood strike. Hollywood is falling. So, why is Hollywood falling? Obviously, for years, Hollywood has been losing a lot of money. That's not a surprise, really, but obviously, ever since ever since 2020, they lost even more due to other types of stuff happening. But people are starting to realize that some of the movies are not worth going to the cinemas to see. Why would you want to go to watch some movie that lectures you about something? Now, any movie that is politically correct or woke and they receive a lot of money or receive a lot of ticket sales and whatnot, that's because they have a strong brand. There was this image on Twitter from the Souths, and they basically said those four movies were woke and they did so good. They posted, I can't remember all the movies, but one of the movies was Super Mario Bros. The movie. The reason why it got a lot of attention was because it's a cartoon, it's a brand, it's a old brand. You know how old Mario is. Oh my goodness. Okay, you need to understand that obviously that's going to earn money. Then you had Oppenheimer, which is not a brand, but you know, I would say that it's most since it's based on reality. A lot of people watched it, and since it is directed by Christopher Nolan, everyone loves that guy for some reason. Uh, and of course, of other stuff as well, like the memes coming out. So a lot of reason why people would watch it. Then you have Barbie, which also is a brand like Mario, but also the reason why a lot of people watched it was because they thought it's a goofy movie, just going to be a campy movie. A lot of people were disappointed with what they watched, And I'm not surprised because I mean, come on, it's a movie based on a girl's toy made in 2023. You'd think there would not be any social message out there. You think it's just going to be a campy movie. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of people just expected it to be some kind of like campy movie. How? How? That's the thing. It's like, come on. The writings were on the walls freaking so long. So freaking long. Okay. Anyways, regardless, there was this other movie which I forgot about, but it was also in that meme. Those four movies were were paraded as woke and successful, but in reality, they weren't woke. Well, besides Barbie, but then again, if you think about it, Barbie is successful because of its brand. No one would have watched it if it wasn't a Barbie movie. Let's face it. So yeah, and they chose those four movies for being successful, but then they ignore other woke movies that bombed. In fact, four of those movies were shown in that meme, basically were doing good for other reasons, not wokeness. And woke movies have completely failed, so they did not use other woke movies. They just chose those four successful movies to push a narrative. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about the strike now. The strike is going on for some time. A lot of people are sad about this. For me, I'm not that surprised because here's the thing, I'm not a big union person myself. And the writers' strike thing, obviously, people are worried about AI. Here's the thing, well, that's the narrative, right? AI, AI. AI can paint a pretty picture. Can they write stories properly? Absolutely not. They can't do that much. Even some of the images are terrible. So why are we thinking that AI is going to take over miraculously? It's not going to happen so quickly. The next thing I want to talk about with AI is that AI can also help people. I know some people don't like AI, but it can also be used as a good thing. The reason why life for humans have become so easy is because of technology. And if we did not embrace the technology, then we would not be doing a lot of simple stuff today. So I'm very happy that we have some kind of advancement in technology, with AI becoming really great, but still lacking a lot of brains. Now, do I think they can take over the writers? Absolutely not, because some of the writers, they think the same. Here's the thing, most of the writers, if you think about it, they think the same, they live in the same place, they preach the same stuff. So if you replace 10 writers with one writer, it wouldn't make a difference. It would not make a difference at all. Okay? It sucks that they're not being paid enough. I understand. It sucks so much. But let's face the fact that some of their writing was accepted by the executives of Hollywood, by the big corporates and stuff like that. When people complained about the scripts of She-Hulk and all the other stupid movies, people complained about that. You know what? No one listened. No one listened to criticism. It was called hateful, racist, sexist, and all the other buzzwords because those executives supported it. I'm not supporting the executives and corporates, nor am I supporting the strike because both of them are a match made in heaven if you think about it. Because one, the corporates should have at least, the higher ups should have at least called this type of writing out years ago. They had a chance to do that, but no, they fanned the flames, making things get so terrible, and and now we have such terrible content. The next is, of course, the writers. People keep saying if they don't get paid enough, they aren't going to write good. But the thing is that pay them well enough, they're still going to write like that because they have been programmed to think a certain way and not write properly. Okay, right now, most Hollywood writers think they are battling against some kind of evil empire when they are themselves working for evil empires. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it is interesting to see how things fall. It's interesting to see how things fall. I do feel bad for some people, absolutely, but let's face it. Some of these writers, like the people who worked on She-Hulk, I mean, it sucks that you got $300, but writing that, I mean, come on. come on. The writing is not that good. The writing is not that good even for $300. It's not that good. So when it comes to the actors now striking, some of the actors are rich. Let's face it. Some of the actors get more money than writers. We all know that. We all know how it works. Fun fact: from what I found out a couple years ago, or I think it was last year, basically Hollywood studios will buy scripts from writers for like $50,000 or something like that sometimes, and they'll shelve them, just shelve them for no reason. They'll be collecting dust basically. No one will be using them because they're not safe enough to use. So you just wasted talented writers. I do admit writers deserve some extra money, but if they write good stuff, if they write good stuff, because as I said earlier, one of those writers can replace 10 of those writers. So, hey, pretty easy to replace them, right? Not with AI, but with themselves. The next thing is, of course, actors striking because I don't know, some of these actors earn so much money, let's face it. So, yeah, yeah, what's the big surprise? Now, the actors are acting as if, well, acting, get it, because they're actors. They're acting as if it's a right to work at these companies. No, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to work at these companies because most people aren't going to be hired anymore by these companies. These companies are riddled with ESG and all that type of stuff. There's no way talented people are going to be hired again. So I'm sorry, it's a privilege to work there. It is a privilege to work at Hollywood and in different company, in those major companies. It's a very much big privilege. So has the actors and the writers strike continuously, what is happening? What about the content? First things first is people have a lot of old content to watch. The second thing is, of course, people have a lot of independent content to watch. So there's no shortage of content. It's just that the shortage of preachy content, which I feel like there should have been a shortage by now if the executives done their part, you know, and actually stood up and worked better. But instead, they were so greedy that they did not care about the quality of the writing at all. So now both parties are to blame: the major corporates and the freaking writers and actors. Because sometimes the actors will come out and say some horrible things about people, you know, just recently, freaking Samuel L. Jackson called people who disliked what's her name, Captain Marvel, incels. He called them incels. That's not a way to go about that. And the fact that he said that proves the point that these Hollywood actors don't give a crap about people's criticisms. They will call you the worst things, and they want you to be the worst things. They have these weird stereotypes about people. So there we go. Social media is basically a place where a lot of people, independents, can work hard and achieve great things. So we don't really need Samuel L. Jackson calling us incels, okay? We can find a lot of other people to make good content. And YouTube is a place brimming with good content. Moving on, moving on. One interesting thing about this is that a lot of late night talk show hosts are not getting enough aren't getting enough um, money anymore. Well, I mean, do they? Do they really need money? I'm sure they made millions squeezing and milking the Orange Man. Like, like making jokes about the Orange Man is not that funny anymore because they use the same freaking jokes. I'm sorry, but making fun of his small hands is not funny anymore. Okay, most of these things are not funny. Making fun of his orange skin is not funny because it's been done a million times. I'm not over exaggerating. Like, you can go back to even last year and listen to all the jokes. Just listen, you can compile all the jokes, all the same jokes. So there we go. Now, one interesting thing is that if the strike continues, the late night talk show hosts won't really have a platform to spew their hatred for the American people, which is interesting, because then that means the primaries can go as expected because the thing about politics is that the talk show hosts are very biased these days, and they will make fun of one side over the other. Okay, there's so much of jokes to be made of, but unfortunately, these people have went so deep in the rabbit hole, they're afraid to make fun of their own side. So they rather just make fun of one side. So if this strike continues, overall, I think it is going to benefit some politicians. Enough about that. I'm sorry for going on this big rant, but I'm just so not in the mood right now for all of this type of stuff. The Hollywood strikes are going to continue, and it might end. It really might end very quickly, to be fair. Now, yeah, I do know that some executives might want to use AI, but then again, I still think AI is still lacking in a lot of departments, especially when it comes to finding out how we even use our mouths. They don't even know how, if the fact we cook, they don't know the fact that we cook food. They don't know that AI is still young, and obviously using AI to write stuff isn't going to work so quickly. But it's getting there eventually, and before you know it, AI is going to make people's lives much easier, but at the same time, take a lot of jobs. But as I said, 10 of those Hollywood writers could be replaced by one of their own, and you won't even know the difference. So, once again, they're very replaceable by their own, not AI. AI still has a long way to go, but still, they will quickly come up, maybe in a couple of years, get good. Other writers can do the job of other writers. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of imported writing, a lot of imported content. Obviously, what happens now is going to change the future. Like 60, 70 years from now, people are going to be having history lessons about this strike and how it changed Hollywood forever and how new content sprang out and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things happening. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I will update you. I might update you. I can't really promise if I'll update you because I don't really want to talk about this type of strikes. I just don't want to talk about it because it's something that's just a lot of people possibly spoke about. So it's not something I want to talk about. So yeah, I don't think I will update, but if I feel like it, I will. Or anything major comes about, I will. But other than that, I'm not really interested in this topic. I just wanted to air out my opinion on it because I've been holding it in for so long. And now that most people have actually spoken about it, there's no need for me to hold it any longer. But I still don't really want to talk about it, if that makes any sense. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.